What's going on YouTube? So I'm back again with another reaction video. Let's jump into this video, then I'll chop it back with you guys real quick.
Black men are intimidated by successful black women.
Okay.
It's good that you're being real with yourself, though. That's important.
Wait. Okay. I will say, like, sometimes. I'm not going to say all black men are. I mean, I know I've heard from plenty of my friends and plenty of older women that I know who are kind of successful, and they're like, yeah, it's really hard to date because men will be like, oh, you make more money than me or something.
You guys like to say that we shouldn't compare, as women, we shouldn't compare ourselves to men because we'll never be the same as you guys. But you guys do that with us. Compare yourselves to us. Like, I don't make as much as her, or I don't have all the degrees that she has.
I don't know if it's the same kind of comparison.
I've never heard any man said that before. I'm just saying, right? I've never ever heard any man ever said that before, whether they'll be interested or they're not interested. So I've never heard that before, but I mean, if anyone's ever heard a man said that, she makes way more money than me, she's got more degree than me, I've never heard that before, but this would be the first time I've heard it, so we learn something new every day.
Comparison we're talking about, right? So I think a lot of the time when people are saying women shouldn't compare themselves to men, is women shouldn't try to be men versus men comparing themselves to women. It's more like, am I fulfilling that traditional masculine role that's kind of expected? Now, we can have the conversation as to whether or not that's still apt for our time or not, whether that's still relevant. I would say it is, just because it seems like people seem to appreciate, at least from my perspective, women seem to appreciate men who make more than them still.
Intimidation is a form of insecurity. So that stems from lack of communication and not dating someone on your level, not you specifically, but if the person isn't dating someone.
I disagree. Intimidation is it's a form of insecurity. I disagree. If a man is intimidated by you, it's not that they're insecure, it's because they've seen that it's not going to work in the best interest of them. So they'll divert their attention somewhere else. Men are simple creatures. We're simple. We're more logical as well. You do agree that we're logical, right? So if we can come to that common ground that men are more logical than females, females are a bit more emotional than male, right? That's why it's male and females, right? You got to look at it like this, right? If I see something that I know that it's not going to work well for me, I'm not going to approach it because my logic has told me that it's not going to work, so I'm not going to bother trying. It's nothing to do with intimidation. Intimidation is if I fear something. If I fear something for my life, I'm intimidated because I fear something. You're only a woman, bro. There's nothing to be feared. If I'm looking at a woman that's got a lot of things going on for herself, i.e. she's got a lot of business and she's got so many things going on in her life, right? I know I'm not going to be number one, right? So I'm not going to say to myself, okay, cool, you let me go approach her knowing that she's got all these things going on for herself. I'm a type of guy that I got shit going on for myself. So if I'm dealing with a woman, bro, I want to be her attention. I want to be her number one. I want her to focus on me while I'm focusing on the bag so it can trickle down to the family and her, right? I don't want to date someone like myself because I know I'm hard work. I'm hard work. The time right now is 10:30. Everyone in my household is gone to bed. I'm still working. So I'm hard work. Why would I want to date someone like me? Feel me? So the intimidation bit, you guys need to stop saying that, because that's false. Men are not intimidated by you. Men just know what they want for themselves and what they don't want from themselves. So that intimidation thing is more of like a, reverse psychology, manipulation tactics to make yourself feel, supreme than what you really are,
Someone on their level, there needs to be that communication because obviously that person is with you for other reasons.
I don't want to make the broad statement that it's all black men, because it's not. It's specifically black men that for whatever reason in their own life, they're not happy with where they are at. They have some sort of insecurity. Maybe it's career insecurity, financial insecurity. So if they're with that archetypal strong black woman, in my experience, instead of being like, oh, like, that's awesome, you have a degree in this, you got this job, you did this, they're like, okay, big mama, you got money, You got money, big mama? I'm like, what the hell?
That's the man you're dating. I dislike when females try to say, I don't want to talk about all black men, but specifically black men. Just talk about us. I'm a black man, right? I don't give a toss how much money you're making, because your money is your money. I want you guys to understand this. When a woman makes some money, right, she only cares about herself. There's plenty times when I was single and I was a bachelor, and I'll be dating females that lives in a 1-bedroom house or a studio, and that's it, right? And with me, I had a 2-bedroom house, and I was a bachelor for just in case I might have to accommodate a female, and we might have to start building family for just in case. Now I live in a whole 3-bed, and there's only 2 of us and 1 child, right? And I still have that mentality for making sure that the money I'm making trickles down to all of them. Everyone lives good, where no one has to work hard and do too much, because I'm going to do that anyway, because I'm a machine, right? So I'm always thinking about the future. When you guys making money, you guys are only thinking about now, your money. Because I want you guys to be honest with yourself, right? Especially if you're a successful black woman, educated. Would you date a man that has no money? I know some of you that are saying, hell no, what? I got myself here. Why am I going to date someone that ain't got no money? But I would date a girl that ain't got no money. I would date a girl that ain't got no money. And I got money. Why? Do you see the difference? Because I'm looking at her as a different asset to what you're looking at a man with money as a different asset to me. I'm looking at a woman to potentially build with, have family with, you know, grow with, you know what I mean, and have a foundation. Especially, you know, in this world that we're living in, we still need to have something to humble us as a man, especially when we're working hard and we're out here outside. We still need to find something that can keep us balanced, right? So I'm not looking at a woman if she's making this amount of money. I'm looking at her character. She motherly, she nurturing, she's feminine, she a nice person. Does other women view her as a nice person as well? But you be looking at man as status to match the level that you think that you're at. Do you see the difference?
Or like, I've even had experiences where they were like basically slut shaming me, talking down to me because I got a better job or I lost weight and people started noticing that. So now I was a whore. But in my experience, if I've been with a black man who he is successful, he has a job that he likes, he's pursuing his hobbies, he has X, Y, and Z, comments like that are never made because he's not
supporting you.
Yeah, he's not internalizing your success as his failure.
Yeah.
Met that across all men.
But then you gotta ask yourself this question, that type of man, how come you can't have that type of man? How come that type of man is not with you? How come you're not building with that type of man? Because he doesn't care about what you have. He doesn't give a toss what you got. He's not gonna say those type of things like, oh man, you got that money, because he's already got things going on for himself. But how come you can't keep those type of men? You gotta understand, you know, you gotta understand the way we think. We can see you and be happy for you. We don't need to hate on you, but we know we can't build with you because we know how much it takes to run a business. We know the sleepless night. We know we're always gonna be thinking about, like my missus will tell you guys, listen, my brain don't stop when it comes to business. It's always business, 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 business. She even helps me with certain things I've got going on because I've got too much things going on. And then you know what she'll be talking to me about? You know, Kai just crowed today. You know, Kai just got up today, and that's my 7-month-old child. You know, Kai just started doing this, and I'd be like, is it? Right? Because she'd be giving me the information about our child because I don't have the time, right, to be actually noticing that, and she would slow me down and say, babes, you know, he just crowed. I'd be like, wow, wow, and I'll put everything aside to watch my little man crow. Why? Because it's a nice balance. Than her telling me about some business meeting or some business opportunity, and then we've got a child and I'm talking about business. Do you see the clash? How is that going to work? There's no balance. So it's not that we're not intimidated by you. We just don't want you.
They just feel intimidated when you are successful. And in my experience too, I do tend to be more of a dominant black woman, and I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. And that's totally okay, but it does scare some men.
Does it make you feel like you shouldn't lead with, because I used to be the type of person, I would lead with like all my accomplishments or my businesses. I would lead with that thinking that, oh, he might like me even more because this is what I do, or, you know? So now it's just like, I don't like to share anything when I'm dating. Like, I don't do anything. I just sit at home.
What I've had to learn is because I used to diminish myself a lot.
Yeah.
And when I listen to that, guys, right, instantly, straight away, when I hear that, that's a woman that doesn't have a father in her life. I might be wrong, right? Because if you have a father in your life, you'd have knew this from early. Your dad would have told you, don't do that. Don't try, talk about your business, your achievement to a man, because men don't care about that. Your father would have told you all of this. And if your father told you all of this, you wouldn't have the spirit to try to strive to be a business owner, because you know that to try to balance that with family, it's not going to make sense. So when you're out here in the dating scene, you're going to be looking at a guy for the character, a guy that reminds you of your father. You feel what I'm saying to you? And then you're going to help that guy get to where he needs to get to, because that guy's going to look at you as an asset, right? And then it'll be hard for that guy to even try to get away from you, because he's going to be like, nah, I need my girl, man, because she helps me with what I got going on. You're an asset. You're not a liability no more. You're an asset to a real man, because your dad would have laid that foundation down. Because the way you sound is letting me know that your father's not in your life, whether you have your mother's spirit inside of you, because your mother will be telling you, you don't need a man, go out there and go get it. That's the reason why you're trying to lead with your wallet, subconsciously, thinking that's what's going to attract a man. But what you need to understand with us lot, we are visual. We're real men. I don't know about the baby boys she be talking about, the girl on the right is talking about. But real men, we are visual. We want to see, is this girl young? Is she cooperative? She listens? She nurturing? Is she a safe space to be around? You know what I'm saying to you? Those are the things that men look at. We don't look at what car you drive, how much you earn. But if you want to find a baby boy, then that's different. You know what I mean? Because if you're out here, if you're not out here actually talking about baby boys, then that's all right then, isn't it? No men are involved in the conversation of this. It's just boys only.
When at the end of the day, I want something that's real. I want someone who's gonna love me for me and all that encompasses that. So I'm gonna be unapologetically 100% me. I'm loud, I talk my shit, I speak my mind, and if you don't like that, then you're not for me.
That's right.
And that's a major problem that happens with people that's a buzz bitch. You feel me? Because of this mentality. You loudmouth, you're outspoken, you do what you want to do, how you want to do it. It's a masculine trait. So, of course, somebody that wants peace is going to look at that and be like, that might not be for me. So you might turn around and say, well, you're intimidated because I'm so-and-so. No, I'm intimidated of the traits that you get of what you are in. No, there's no intimidation. You've already given a red flag by what you just said, right? You're loudmouth. You do what you want, how you want to do it. What man, if you was a man and you was looking for a female, would that be what you want? Especially you've accomplished everything you've accomplished. Would that be what you want? Come on, man. Like, let me let it play.
I think that this specific prompt goes back to the original prompt. Men who prefer to date women outside of their race. I believe that it's not really a race thing, it's a class thing. And I honestly believe that if I'm a black woman and you already view me as a stereotypical black woman, loud, disrespectful.
I want you guys to notice this guy's not talking. I want you guys to notice the silent speaks volume. He's just watching, observing. He's not talking. He's just watching the females talk like he's not there.
Respectful. I don't respect black men if you view me as that way, on top of me being successful. See, I don't have to be more successful.
I notice they're talking to themselves than they're talking to the guy. Like you have to see the body languages on masculine females. You feel me? This is what happens when, you a boss bitch and you are a high earner. You feel like you're more better than the man. Because now they're talking to each other. They're not even talking to the guy. They're not trying to clarify why they think men are, intimidated by them, because they are talking to each other than talking to the man. That's just me observing. You know what I'm saying?
Than you. Sometimes men, specifically black men, believe that you don't need to have so much confidence in yourself. I feel like you are competing with me.
Yes.
My success does not revolve around your success.
Yes.
We should want to be successful together, which leads back to that specific detail about creating a healthy relationship, a healthy black successful relationship. And I believe that black men view women who are very confident. I'm very confident in myself. I don't disrespect you. I respect you so much, but I respect myself more. And I think that men have a hard time toting that line of keeping my masculinity and upraising your femininity.
I think there's definitely some validity in that. I think however people decide to arrange like their marriage and their relationships, I think it's totally up to them. Like whatever roles you choose, that's up to you. If that works, if it's healthy, you should do that. I wanted to unpack the on your level thing that you said. So what does that mean, on your level?
Whether that's fine.
Well done, bro. I'm glad he answered that question. That's good, because that's something that one needs to read in between the line what exactly you mean when you say on your level. So that's I like the fact that he's answered that question. That's actually smart, that he was waiting for the right time for them to finish what they were saying so he can address that. Smart play, bro.
Financially, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, anything, or all of the above. Someone who you feel you resonate well with, no insecurities. I feel like, I don't know, did that answer your question?
Yeah.
She don't even know what she's talking about, bro. She don't even know what she's talking about, bro. She just said the word on your level for no reason, and she don't even know what level she's talking about. It just sounds good.
I guess for the...
Bro's confused as hell, bro. Look at him.
For the purpose of this conversation, I want y'all's opinions on this. Do you think black women generally would date or marry a man who wasn't financially or had no prospects of being financially, socioeconomically on their level?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
See it every day.
Literally.
Every single day.
I wonder why the perception isn't that then. Like I wonder where that comes from then. Like the majority, and I'm sure maybe someone will agree with me when they walk over here, because necessarily you're not going, black women are most educated right now. Like necessarily you are not going to probably find a black man who is on your level. Like
Touch something about the levels. The world is going to treat me different than the world's going to treat you. And it's nothing to do with the color of the skin. It's because I'm just a man, right? They expect me to do more than what a female can do. And vice versa. It is what it is. That's just the world that we're living, right? But I want to say something to you guys, yeah? We need to stop with this manipulation tactics that we are intimidated by you. If I really want to think about it, right? I think some black women that talk like this, you're really, really projecting how you feel. Out of my experience, right, is this. When you're successful, I intimidate black females, because when you come to someone like me, I ask the best of you, right? I don't settle for nothing. So most of the time, black females can't deal with people like me because why? I can't be controlled. I already know what I want for myself. I've already put in the work. I've already sacrificed. So I'm uncontrollable. So that's the reason why sometimes some black females end up with Pookie and Ray Ray, someone they can control, i.e. someone that's an F-man or a drug dealer, because you can emotionally control them because they're not emotionally intelligent. So when you guys push this narrative of men are intimidated of you, you're really thinking like a man, because I feel like most black females are intimidated of a successful man, because you know you're going to have to submit. You know that you're going to have to be listening. You know that you're going to have to be ruled. And majority of you lot, some of you lot are unruly. That's the reason why you take that road in trying to create a business for yourself and make yourself look like an entrepreneur and try to make yourself high earners and try to get all this degree in the world because you think you're going to be in that same level as the man that you want, so you can get that same respect, so you don't have to submit to the man. But that doesn't fly with a man that has common sense. He's not going to go for you. That's why 9 times out of 10 you guys are single, and you're going to remain single with that energy, and you're going to remain single with that mentality of thinking that you're looking for a man to match your level. That will never happen. But to go out your way and say to people, men are intimidated of you because of your success, it's wrong, and it's a wrong way of thinking. I just want to let you know that it's a wrong way of thinking, because I know a lot of successful guys, and when I see the missus is the opposite to them. Right? And I'll say this to you as well. If you are like the way you are, you're only going to attract someone that's opposite to you. And trust me, it's not going to last long, because at some point you're going to need a man to step up when you're feeling low. And that person that you're choosing, right, he's going to be looking at you as the earner. He's going to be looking at you as the provider. And you're going to get tired of that, because at some point you're going to want to be in your feminine energy. So stop trying to look for someone to match the level of you lot are, especially when you keep talking about the degrees and the business and the job. Especially when you're talking about a job, right? You can get fired from a job. You do know that, right? I've done a research and I recently figured out that over 300,000 black females got laid off of the corporate world. I mean, what are you going to do now? You're getting fired from your job. You can't have that same energy when you're trying to go on a dating scene to find a man so you can be okay. You're going to have to change the way you think. So I'm saying this to you right now, right? Ladies, no one is intimidated of you. We just can see the red flags and we don't want to subscribe to that. But to you, and when you're talking to, you know, your females, you see how the guy was asking you a question and you guys was talking to each other. You weren't really looking at the guy answering his questions because you don't talk to each other. You're all going to mislead each other, because you got to remember, misery loves company. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Stay blessed. Peace. Bow.